Hey, what's up, cats and kittens? It's me, the Cerebral Diva. Shout out to all my Cerebralites. It is Saturday, March 18, 2017, and I wanted to come and talk to you guys for a little bit. Woke up this morning feeling inspired and excited. So before I got my day started, I wanted to come and have a conversation with you guys about something that's been weighing on my consciousness for the last several days. So recently, Donald Trump and Bow Wow have been at odds. And it's such a weird pairing to even think of Donald Trump versus Bow Wow. Like any other president, say Obama, would not even entertain responding to a person of Bow Wow's caliber. But we have President Petty in office, and so he feels compelled to respond to the most minute of attacks or challenges, and so we find ourselves with a president who's arguing with essentially a has-been hip hop artist. And yes, I call Bow Wow has been. Not a fan, never have been, probably never will be. And it's less about his music and more about his. I don't even know if I want to call him politics or just his state of consciousness or lack thereof. I just, there was a few months ago where Black Wow actually disavowed his blackness and said that he wasn't black, that he was actually mixed race. But now that he's in this sort of debate with Donald Trump, he's going to see exactly how black he is based on the way that the right is going to portray him. So anyhow, the story starts with Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg is sort of a mentor to Bow Wow. That's actually how Bow Wow got his name. Snoop Dogg was, and I believe that Bow Wow was initially signed to Snoop Dogg, and Snoop Dogg didn't really know what to do with Bow Wow, so he took him to Jermaine Dupri, which is where his career, or Bow Wow's career, actually began to flourish. However, he kept the moniker, Bow Wow, which was an homage to Snoop Dogg. So when Snoop Dogg made the video Lavender, where he shot a toy gun at Donald Trump, and it's been all over the media recently, where people have been attacking Snoop for essentially saying that it was portraying a assassination attempt on Donald Trump, which to me is so stupid. But before I even go into this Bow Wow thing, let me touch on this Snoop thing really quick. Even though I made a video about it, there was a point that I wanted to make that I did not make. And that point being, I'm amazed at how people on the right get so bent out of shape about Snoop Dogg using a toy gun when a lot of people are afraid to go to movies, concerts, you name it, any sort of public event where people are going to be congregating. A lot of people are afraid of those things because they feel that it makes them vulnerable or susceptible to mass shootings, mass killings. I mean, for God's sake, you can't even go to a college campus in this day and age, without being affected by mass shootings. However, every time an issue comes up with putting some sort of legislation forth to curtail the amount of high-powered weaponry in our society, Republicans in the GOP will shoot it down, pun intended. But when Snoop Dogg pulls out a toy gun, they get their pennies in a bunch. Oh my God, we can't believe it. Nothing is more violent than seeing people screaming and clamoring for their lives because there's some crazed gunman running around a building or an event with an AK-47 assault rifle, shooting people en masse just because he has the power to do it because the GOP refuses to do anything to intervene. So when Snoop Dogg pulls out a toy gun with a bang flag, I don't want to hear about how offended you guys are, how violent it is, because when you see the Newtown shootings, when you see what happened in San Bernardino, when you see what happened in Columbine, when you see what happened in the theater in Colorado during the Batman movie release, there's countless events that, even as most recently with Pulse in Orlando, there are countless mass shootings that happen over and over and over, and they're growing in frequency, and the GOP seems to be able to turn a blind eye to that. But for some reason, an innocuous Snoop Dogg video gets them riled up. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I'll never get it. But I just wanted to say that before I got back into the Bow Wow thing. I suppose in the GOP's eyes, a gun is only dangerous if it's in the hands of a black man. Now let's get back to Bow Wow. So the way Bow Wow factors into this story is Bow Wow was essentially coming to Snoop Dogg's aid, as if Snoop Dogg needed the assistance of Bow Wow. I'm sure he probably cringed when he even heard that Bow Wow was coming to his defense. But Bow Wow's defense was essentially saying that he would pimp Melania. Now, as I told you guys earlier, I'm not a Bow Wow fan, and as a woman, I don't support or endorse what he said. I think it's disgusting. However, when you put what Bow Wow said in the context, I'm gonna play something. Hopefully, I can pull this up for you guys. Just bear with me for 1 second here. You might hear a few clicks.
She's still very good. I moved on her, actually. You know, she was out on Palm Beach. I moved on her, and I failed. I admit it. Whoa. I did try and fuck her. She was married. No, Nancy. No, this was and I moved on her very heavily. In fact, I took her out furniture shopping. She wanted to get some furniture. I said, I'll show you where there's some nice furniture. I took her out furniture. I moved on her like a bitch. I couldn't get there. And she was married. And all of a sudden, I see her. She's now got the big phony tits and everything. She's totally changed her look.
Your girl's hot as shit. In the purple.
Whoa!
Yes!
Whoa!
Yes, Madonna Store! Oh, my man! Wait, you gotta look at me when you got it.
That is very...
Give me the thumbs up. You gotta put the thumbs up. You gotta get the thumbs up. Can't be too happy. First? Yeah, let me...
It's very funny.
You gotta get the thumbs up.
You and I will walk in.
Got it.
Maybe it's a different one.
Better not be the thumbs. No, it's her.
Yeah, that's her, with a gold. I gotta do some TikToks just in case I start kissing her. You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. Just I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the pussy. You can do anything.
I hope you guys were able to hear that. If you weren't able to hear that, let me give you a brief synopsis. That was actually from the Access Hollywood video that I'm sure most of you have heard by now. And in this video, Donald Trump can be heard as exclaiming how he essentially has no respect for married women, how he feels that he has the right to grab women by their pussies, and basically completely devaluing women as a whole. Now, the irony to me is that people are so offended by Bow Wow saying that he would pimp Melania out, but this is essentially the same talk that Trump, and not just the same talk, the same logic, the same ideology that he subscribes to, that women are to be objectified. So why is it okay for Trump to say it, but not okay for Bow Wow? If it's not okay, it's just not okay. We can't pick and choose when it's okay and when it's not okay. When Trump was challenged about what he said, he essentially dismissed it as locker room talk. So how come when Bow Wow says that he was going to pimp Melania out, why is that not locker room talk? I'll tell you why. Because it's coming from the mouth of a black man. And there's a societal double standard that if a black man says it, it's offensive. Had President Obama said anything remotely close to some of the things that Donald Trump has said, has done, I assure you, he would have never been president of the United States. And there's nothing anyone can say that will get me to believe anything to the contrary. You know, Bow Wow's disgusting. He's an equal opportunity offender. So I'm not here in any way, shape, or form to defend him because I find him indefensible, to be quite frank. But at the same time, if you can talk like that and be the president, how come you can't talk like that and be a rapper? You know, in my opinion, that sort of verbiage is more, it's better suited for a hip hop artist than it is for my president. So I just get so sort of discombobulated by the fact that these people make all sorts of excuses for Donald Trump's behavior. But if anyone else says anything remotely offensive, we're supposed to call that person to task. But when it comes to Donald Trump, then suddenly, oh, we don't take him literally. That's not how he meant it. We know exactly what this man means. In the words of in the words of Maya Angelou, when people show you who they are, believe them. And I believe that he's disgusting. So that's really it. I don't want to drag this video on longer than it needs to be. So, as always, in closing, you guys, I want you to live better, love harder, and think